Hi, I'm Chad Colby, the host of Trackside. Trackside is the official program of the United States Cross Country National Guard Snowmobile Championship. Don't forget, you too could be a part of riding snowmobiles in sub-zero temperatures like this weekend at the Red Lake I-500. The Red Lake I-500 is a 500-mile race, but then our normal race series is about a 45 or 50-mile race. Grab your snowmobile, come on out and see us at the USCC.
Just across the line, going to Halstrom.
Oh, I did not want to break the long day. I'm in a wheelchair.
Congratulations!
Keep going there, buddy. We made her. That's awesome.
137.
Nice job. Tired?
Glad it's over?
Yes, it is.
You're the first Polaris in.
Can't hardly walk.
170-something miles, Joey, on a vintage sled. Come on.
That was a good beating, but it was fun.
Oh, you made her in. You did
I made it in. That was a big accomplishment.
You did good.
Hope you guys are running on my brother.
Still, I mean, everything else.
Sixth place, a check for $100 for sixth place to number 163, Steve Potucek out of Wyoming, Minnesota. A check for $125 for fifth place goes to number 167 out of Wyoming, Minnesota, Mike Fugelberg. Fourth place in the Vintage 500, a check for $150 to Midco, North Dakota to number 88S Dylan Slaminski. Third place, a check for $200, the third place plaque on an Arctic Cat out of Warren, Minnesota, number 33X Joey Potucek. Second place, a check for $300 on an Arctic Cat at number 9 out of Spicer, Minnesota, Brian Nelson. First place, a check for $400, a time of 3 hours, 51 minutes, and 18 seconds. They still call me Hollywood Joey Halstrom. Third place, 402 Steve Sherwood out of Pine River. All right, second place, a a check for $200, second place plaque. The number 9, Brian Nelson on a Spicer. Here's the check. First place in the Legends, in the Vintage Legends, goes to Joey Halstrom at number 131, a check for $300 in the first place trophy. Okay, that takes care of it. I think everybody has to believe that the Legends was a success. We had 30-some riders, about half of them finished, and I'm sure those that were in there and did finish had a good time. I talked to some of the riders, and John Sims told me, he said, you know, that's the lousiest course I ever rode on, but it's the most fun I've had in a long time. So.
Joey, the good part is you're standing, and I know you're leaning up against that chair, but you're our vintage champion this year. How fun is that? I mean, really.
It was a blast. You know, I raced the same sled when I was 18 years old, a senior in high school, and to come back and run the same type of sled at age 50, it was a blast. It was. These sleds ride so much different than the new stuff. You know, you're sitting back, it's a leaf springer, you know, it's got half the horsepower, but actually they go on at a pretty good clip, and you got to stay out of them big holes. You know, when I was young, race, you went right down the center of the racetrack through the holes, and I shimmied back and forth, and I tried to stay out of the big hole. Oh, yeah, I mean, I could not have done this without Brian Nelson. I mean, he's a two-time I-500 winner. He, you know, he's the one that wanted to do this vintage thing. He bought a bunch of sleds. He made 3 new ones, and I just got the opportunity to get to ride one, and he's been a good friend of mine. He was my hero when I was young, so yeah, it was. I thank Brian Nelson, and once in a lifetime deal. I'm glad I got to do it.
United States Cross Country Series has classes for all types of snowmobilers, from the high-tech pros like this machine right here to the trail sled you ride at home. Grab your snowmobile, come on out and see us, and enjoy the intense fun of cross-country racing. Young racers have to start somewhere, and with the USCC, that starts on a 120cc kids snowmobile.
One more sled coming alive. 5 and 59. Tom Hunt. 156, Doug Forster. 427, Hunter Stromany. That's Travis.
We started our first repair session today. They get 1 hour to do anything on their sleds, essentially, except the engine. So guys right now are going through these snowmobiles with a fine-tooth comb looking for everything, and obviously they're going to find some problems. caught up with Brian Dick, leading after day 1, leading after day 2. Tell us about your day today.
Well, just played another safe run today. Sled worked good. Didn't have any issues. Didn't have any rider errors either. So I hopefully just maintained or made a little bit up.
How was the cold today? You know, a lot of people talk about it, but it is a factor. It was 21 below early this morning, and sun or no sun, it's tough, even for an experienced guy like yourself.
Yeah, I ended up freezing my face up a little bit more and froze my thumb a little and finger, but it does. Once you're riding, your body seems to stay warm, but you got to watch out for those parts that are too exposed, you know.
You know, I talked to Joe a little bit earlier. It sounds like the sled's holding up really well, Brian.
Yeah, we haven't, in both the repair sessions, we're more or less just checking things over. I've been fortunate enough to stay out of the slush. It's been clean, running good, haven't had any belt problems, so just hopefully we can have another good safe run tomorrow.
You know, Brian, you've been in this position before, day 3 at the 500. Getting a chance to run on day 3A is a good thing. Having a lead is a whole nother game. Starting out front, that's got to be a good thing. What's your strategy going into tomorrow?
Well, I got to play it a little different than I did back in 04 when I made it about 12 miles and barrel rolled it. So I'm hoping tomorrow just to run the same race I've been racing the last 2 days, smooth and steady, and just keep peeking over the shoulder and hope nobody shows up. So
there you go. You know, Brian, I think one of the things to win this race, I think you've had to have lost it before, and you have. You've had, I hate to say it, but some real unfortunate luck. But you know what? You got a sled that's working good. You got a lot of experience and a great crew behind you. I think tomorrow's going to be a fun day for you.
Yeah. Well, I thank you, and I hope you're right. You know, I do. I got a lot of friends, family. Everybody's been helping with one thing or another, and Joe's been doing a great job on the sled. So hopefully we can be the first one across the line tomorrow.
You know, you got a lot of sponsors. You got a lot of friends and family here in Thief River. Take a shot at it. Run down through the list. You ready? Thank all those fine folks.
Well, my main sponsors, Christian Brothers and Articat, and right behind them we got Woody's that supplies me with all the great traction products. Eric O'Toole supports me. They make a lot of parts for the race sled, and Speedworks hooking me up with all the right clutching. I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of others, but CNA Pro Ski, you know, so yeah, there's a huge effort that goes into being successful, and I'm very fortunate to have all those guys behind me.
You know, Brian, a lot of us have watched you come through this year after year after year. It's no stranger to have you running on the 3rd day. It's no stranger to have you running up front. We wish you a ton of luck tomorrow, bud. Go get them.
Thanks a lot, Chad.
I'm Chad Colby. With me is Spencer Wrightsman. Spencer, you're out of the race today, but it was quite an interesting week for you. But first of all, how'd things go yesterday on the day that you're for sure you know what happened?
Yesterday wasn't too bad. I had a few clutching issues, ran good flat. You know, I had a lot of flat light and couldn't see, but other than that, I mean, the sled ran good, so didn't have a problem with it at all.
You know, obviously, our fans and people watching don't know you're out of the race, had a little issue today. Can you tell us what you remember about it today?
Well, we were coming about 2 miles before the fuel stop. We take a right-hand turn, and coming into this field is a sugar beet field or a wheat field or plowed, chisel plowed, and came across the one bump, got the sled straightened back out, hit the next one, and it cartwheeled, and I was in the air with the sled for 2 or 3 rotations, and then the sled landed on top of me, and don't really remember much from there. So
Are you doing okay? How you feeling? I know I talked to you earlier and was making fun of you and calling you Jason in case you didn't know your name, but how you feeling now, bud?
Not too bad. I still got a headache, got some stud marks down my hip and pretty big gouge out of my knee. So,
do I dare ask the question, how's the Snowcat doing?
The sled is pretty bad. The tunnel's kinked, the bulkhead's broke. So it's going to be a part sled for the rest of the year, I think.
Well, listen, we hope you heal up well. We just wanted to wish you best of luck. You know what? It's part of the 500. It happens, but we're glad you're doing okay.
All right. Thank you, Chad.
Hey, hold on a second. You know, the least you could do is thank all these people, and somebody's probably got to fix that snowmobile at some point. How about you thank your sponsors, your crew, and I'm guessing Dad's around here somewhere.
Yeah, Dad's here somewhere. He actually brought the trailer home, so I got to thank Walker Evans. They set my shocks up real good. I mean, the guys back at the shop did a lot of work for me. MBL, Lube Tech did a lot of stuff for me, got all my oil and fuel and stuff, so they were a big help. Without them, I obviously wouldn't be racing.
Sweet. Well, listen, hey, bud, get healed up. Hopefully we'll see you back at a cross-country race yet this year.
All right, sounds good.
All right, bud, thanks. Chad, in the top 5 after day 1, tell us about your run today.
Well, it started off really good. We were working our way up through the crowd, and then we iced up our carburetors, and then I was just along for the ride as fast as it would go, which you have them days, I guess.
You know, I talked to you about it earlier. In these super cold conditions, it's kind of the nature of the beast a little bit. It happens, but once you get it, you're done. You just can't get over it when the sled's probably dropped a cylinder, I'm sure, and then you're stuck going, let me guess, 50, 60 mile an hour, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's sad because, you know, the team's worked so hard for the last couple of weeks, and we've been running really good, and we have potential to be there, but we just run into this kind of stuff. So
you had an interesting other thing happen to you today. I've raced cross country for years like yourself, and one of the unique things that happens is you run into situations where you got to make split decisions, and you made a good one today. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I guess I just came around the corner, and there was a guy sitting there, looked pretty cold, and I knew how cold I was, so I asked him if he needed a ride because I knew we were way out in the middle of nowhere. So gave him a ride down to the road, and he got in where it was warm.
You know, the reality of that is another, I would say safely, half a dozen riders went by this guy, and you stopped. You know what? Hats off to you. It's the sportsmanlike thing to do, and you know what? It happens. And when you're kind of out of the, not say out of the race, but when you got a problem, it kind of takes your mind off things too, because that's what matters, is guys being safe, and we certainly appreciate that.
Yep. No, I hope somebody do it for me.
We've completed day 2 of racing at the 2011 Red Lake I-500. It was an exciting day. We did have a lot of attrition. We got close to our normal. 30% of our riders did not make the finish today. Tomorrow, starting out, Brian Dick is going to lead them out tomorrow morning. Off the top of my head, he probably has around a 5 or 6 minute lead. It's his race to lose tomorrow. He's a veteran of this area. He lives in Thief River, about 10 miles away. He's a long-time racer of the USCC. He's been the bridesmaids here before. He's been 10, 12 miles from the finish and had problems which have plagued him from winning the big race. He's poised to win this tomorrow. We wish him all the best of luck. Today was pretty exciting. It was a blue light day. A lot of people liked it, but it brought on a lot of crashes. A lot of guys were trying to close the distance and make up some time after yesterday. Tomorrow's going to be a great day, and we're going to crown our champion of the 2011 Red Lake I-500. For the latest information about the USCC and its other races this season, check us out online at usccracing.com. The United States Cross Country Series gives a special thank you to the Sevens Clans Casino. Without the Sevens Clans Casino, the Red Lake I-500 would not take place.